going to Mongolia's Hustai National Park to witness firsthand the recovery of a species once completely extinct in the wild. Okay. This is the home of the Przewalski's horse, the only truly wild horse species left on the planet.
You see the first hill, yeah? This is small hill.
Up there.
And next hill is our target.
Okay, that's what we're trying to find. We're off. Every 2 weeks, park biologists fan out across these mountains to get an accurate count of how many horses are left. This small protected area is one of the only places left to see these horses in their natural habitat.
Yeah. We are finally here.
Beautiful. You can see everything.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah, you see.
The horses
Those
are right
horses
there.
still there.
Oh my God. They're so close. By the 1960s, the Przewalski's horse was declared extinct in the wild. At one point, only 12 remained, all in captivity in foreign zoos. It's a story of ancient DNA nearly lost and now fighting to make a comeback. A story with roots a world away from the Mongolian steppe, in high-tech labs where scientists have harnessed the power to alter the molecules of life in unprecedented ways. A technology both revolutionary in its potential.
This effort is a milestone in the history of life.
And controversial in its unknowns.
We have to be convinced it should be totally safe.
Humans have pushed nearly 1 million species around the world to the brink of extinction, which raises the question, have we reached the point where engineering nature may be the only way to save it? Nature is in crisis. Humans have now altered virtually every ecosystem on the planet, fueling extinction rates tens to hundreds of times higher than any point in the last 10 million years. It's a crisis of such epic proportions that some conservationists are now calling for unprecedented interventions, tapping into our newfound power to shape genomes as a way to save endangered species, and even bring back the ones we've lost.
The Przewalski's horse once roamed all across Central Europe, all the way through Asia, a vast expanse. And over time, with urbanization and agricultural influences and all the stresses of habitat fragmentation, that isolation can cause inbreeding. Once they realized they were at such a critical number in the wild, they brought them into captivity. And one of the beautiful things about our zoos, which people don't really know, is they are very focused on conservation. And in fact, they are the ones that are often responsible for bringing back into the wild many of these endangered populations. And that's exactly what is happening with the Przewalski's horse. But they had to physically move these individuals. Now, with genetic technology, we can move genes.
This journey to understand both the power and the risks of applying these new genetic tools to conservation begins here in America, in the heart of horse country. Texas. Here on the plains of North Texas, a new foal was born that just might solve the Przewalski horse's genetic bottleneck.
Come on, buddy.
This ranch is one of the most successful horse cloning facilities in the world. It's also the first to clone an endangered species, a young Przewalski's horse named Ollie. Hi, Ollie. Hi, Ollie. That's the spot, Ollie. That's the spot. Oh my God, he really likes this. So I can't believe I'm petting a horse that's an exact clone of a horse that lived and breathed 40 plus years ago. I mean, this is a wild species.
A lot of people, when they hear the word cloning and they think about what we do, their first thought is, well, you're playing God, and that can't be right. Well, if you think about, a horse like this is a result of thousands of years of selection. Cloning technology actually gives us a chance to more intelligently look back and bring genetic vitality back into a population. I think Ollie's a great example of that.
At Viagen's lab just down the road, I got a chance to see what cloning actually looks like. What are you doing right now? What is this part of the process in actually getting a cloned animal?
Yeah, so step one would be actually taking and removing the DNA from the oocyte or eggs that we would take and collect from the mares. And so if
you're doing that right now.
And so I'm doing that right now. And so if you would look in here, you would see the oocyte and the pipette that we use to basically aspirate the DNA.
Whoa. Just sucked it in.
Now the egg is basically ready to accept the DNA from another cell or a different animal. Huh. We've worked with about 10 or 11 species throughout the years. Same basic process, but just the nuances are tricky enough to make you stumble if you don't know what you're doing.
To be clear, cloning isn't about repopulating the wild with cloned animals. The goal is to fight back against what conservationists call the extinction vortex. Once a population is small enough, inbreeding and a lack of genetic diversity can accelerate that population loss, putting a species on an irreversible path to extinction. But cloning allows scientists to produce a stallion from lost genes, in this case from 4 decades ago, creating entirely new bloodlines and infusing genetic diversity back into the population. You are a wild breed, man. No biting me. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. I'm actually terrified right now. You've got a successful business here cloning, high-value horses. Why are you doing this? Why are you cloning an endangered species?
Yeah, so it's amazing, really, the story. This is from a sample that was taken 40, 50 years ago, and that's 20 years prior to cloning, and yet the conservation-minded people had the forethought to take a sample from that individual who hadn't reproduced, so his genetics weren't represented, to take that sample and store it just in case there was some technology that came in the future that might prove useful. But what an amazing treasure that it was.
Yeah.
Because now he's been named as the most genetically important Przewalski in the world. The herd that we currently have will be healthier, more robust, and have a brighter future because of him, not only because of what he represents and what technology brings, but literally because of him, because of his introduction of new genetics that aren't represented in that group.
Ollie, the cloned Przewalski's horse, was only possible today because of a geneticist's forethought to preserve DNA more than 4 decades ago. But it's just one piece in a much larger puzzle. Scientists at the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, where the cell line that produced Ollie was cryogenically frozen in the 1980s, are now trying to save the genetics of as many species as they can. It's like a backup drive for nature's 3.6 billion-year-old code of life.
This is the frozen zoo. In it are the living cells of plants and animals from around the world. Here are plants and stem cells of rhinos. Here are semen samples, gametes, preserved embryos. This tank, these tanks have in them the highest concentration of vertebrate biodiversity anywhere in the solar system.
So this is where the cell lines are stored at, what is it, negative?
Negative 196. So this is the cryo tank. And we have racks like this. So yeah, you really want to minimize the amount of time that these are out of the nitrogen, since they can start to warm up very quickly.
And what kind of species are we talking about here? Which one is this?
This one here is a northern white rhino.
Which is pretty much functionally extinct
It's functionally
in the wild.
extinct.
Now the gene pool of the northern white rhinoceros lives only here.
The world's wild populations of birds, mammals, fish, reptiles, and amphibians have all declined nearly 70% in just the last 50 years. But saving genomes in a freezer is one thing. Putting them back into the wild is where the ethics get tricky.
All of us understand these are new technologies that need to be monitored. They need to be analyzed. Is their behavior the same? Is their reproductive capability the same, equal, or better? Are they more resilient to disease? So all these things are going to continue to be studied.
There's a track record here that would give people pause, where humans have, used their technology with such hubris, thinking that we can control the natural world.
Quite honestly, this field is wrestling with this question of how much do we intervene, how fast, who decides. This is new science that we're pioneering.
To be honest, it's very interesting, this cloning things. For me, maybe it's too early to say. We have to be very, very careful on it. So maybe some years research and monitoring we need it.
As scientists continue to monitor the safety and effectiveness of cloning for conservation, Dashparev and the rangers in whose sty are busy dealing with more immediate threats. It's a reminder that these novel genetic tools will never be a replacement for traditional boots-on-the-ground conservation.
Oh. Ugana, these are all confiscated from poachers?
Yes.
How many guns do you have?
Just in July, this July,
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Just July.
12. Yeah, just in July. Here too. 15.
15 total. What kind of guns are these?
No license.
No license.
No license.
Yugan Bayer says almost 95% of Hustai's large mammals are endangered. Protecting them has become a constant effort. Even though many in the conservation world still have deep reservations about the idea of cloning, others are pushing even further. It's no Jurassic Park, yet, but the science is moving forward at breakneck speed.
Texas-based company is spending millions of dollars to try to bring back the Tasmanian tiger.
Using CRISPR genome editing technology, a team of scientists aim to genetically resurrect a woolly mammoth by 2027.
This technology also allows us to start editing those genes, to start changing the genome in order to adapt to the changing conditions on this planet. How far away is that?
I think it's closer than you may think. I think scientifically and technically, it's becoming increasingly doable. I think there will increasingly be examples where the risk of doing nothing is so severe as in extinction, that there will be a rationale for actually genome editing.
At what point in the extinction crisis do you think it's okay to start editing the genes of endangered species to save them?
It's a very difficult question, but maybe we are not ready yet. I think maybe it's one of this possible method in the future. If there is no other way to save some species from the total extinction, till that, we should just keep what we are doing.
God, they seem so at home in this environment, like they've been here for millions of years.
Yeah.
How does it feel? I mean, you were here for the reintroduction. You've played a part in bringing a species back that was extinct in the wild.
Of course, it's lots of pride, because every time I see them like such peaceful, calm, it makes us very happy. Yeah.
So you don't feel like you're at the point where bringing new genetics in through cloned Przewalski's horses is necessary?
At the moment, we are happy with them. So, but we never know.
That caveat that we never know is a reminder that wildlife conservation has entered a new era of uncertainty. You can think of Ollie, the cloned Przewalski's horse, and the technology he represents for all species as a kind of insurance policy, a backup, just in case things go really bad. But it could be a decade or more before Ollie's genes ever make it into the wild herds of Mongolia. The process, first captive breeding at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and eventually reintroducing some of his descendants to the wild, will be tightly controlled and studied. In the meantime, saving as many of these endangered genomes as we can, as fast as we can, is an idea even the US federal government is getting behind.
Because of the success that we've had, Fish and Wildlife Service in the US started to pay attention. And we convinced them that if we could create a pilot, we said, let's just do 25 US endangered species, and we can demonstrate a pathway for them to easily bank and send off material for genomic sequencing, all of that would be part of the American legacy.
Here at the Rio Mora National Wildlife Refuge in New Mexico, I joined fish and wildlife biologists setting traps for one of those species, the New Mexico meadow jumping mouse, which has been listed as endangered since 2014.
So if you want to take this one here, this is a Sherman trap. You just kind of unfold it, perfect, just like that. Kind of do a fling.
Like old hand.
What we're going to do is we're going to put some of this bait here that we have, which again is peanuts, sunflower seeds, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to find a place here.
So just kind of
Kind of
on
just find
even
out.
ground, right?
Yeah. Yep, that looks perfect.
Okay. See if we catch a mouse.
The next morning, we head out at dawn to check the traps.
Let's go check the first site. We can go see if we got anything.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay.
There's something in the traps. We're gonna see what's in. The anticipation.
It is not a jumping mouse.
Not a jumping mouse.
But it's a good present.
But that was only the first trap. As we opened more, there were lots of critters, but not the endangered meadow jumping mouse we were looking for. The biologists measured and documented each one before releasing them and moving on to the next traps.
I might have a...
I think I have one too.
Oh my God!
No way.
Really? A jumper?
I don't even want to take the cotton out. I'm scared. I just want to right now.
Okay, this is really exciting.
I can take it the cotton.
We think we have them.
I think we're going to end up doing here. Let's put this up.
I'm going to try to then just
Yep.
It went in?
Yeah.
Ta-da.
There it is, this little sample from the ear of this endangered species that could one day do so much to help this species recover.
That's pretty cool. Did that
Amazing. At a time of cascading losses, saving endangered species, even if that means banking their genomes in freezers, is at the very least an act of hope. If the pilot project with Fish and Wildlife goes well, the goal would be to biobank every endangered mammal in the US. Around the world, similar initiatives are underway in countries like China, Japan, and the United Kingdom. But while conservationists are busy storing the code of life, the public will have an opportunity to weigh in on how and when these genetic tools should be used. And to ask the question, how far should we go to engineer nature in order to save it?